Well, from what we understand from the memorial service yesterday in Kuala Lumpur, the Ocean Infinity are proposing to search a wider band. All these searches are around what's called the seventh arc, which was the last electronic transmission from the aircraft on March the 8th, 2014 at about 8:19 local time. Now, that's the last known location electronically. So the original searches were approximately 31 kilometres either side of the seventh arc. The next Ocean Infinity search in 2018 took that out to 51 kilometres either side. And this new search they're proposing is to take it out to 83 kilometres either side of this arc to try and find out where it is. Also, they've acknowledged there were some data gaps in the previous searches that they want to cover as well.
So what do we know about previous searches and the investigation that took place? What do we know about what could possibly have happened to MH370? What are some of the more plausible explanations of what could have happened?
Well, it's within the industry, it is accepted that this is the action of the captain of this aircraft. There's all sorts of evidence pointing to him doing this, including flying this particular route on his flight simulator program and then wiping it. It was then recovered. And that's the generally accepted because it had to be human input. It couldn't be an aircraft simply, everybody overcome with hypoxia and flying on into the night. If it had done that, it would have flown on to Beijing and beyond, and before crashing in Siberia. But this aircraft made a series of deliberate turns around, turned around after getting to a waypoint called Igari, then across the Malaysian peninsula under Penang, up the Andaman, up the Malacca Strait to the Andaman Sea, and then south. We know that absolutely from the electronic pings from the Inmarsat satellite and also from Malaysian military radar. So they are, and all the debris that has been discovered, and there's 41 pieces of debris, have all been discovered on the eastern shores of the African continent and also on the islands of Madagascar and Reunion Island. So all the evidence points to it being in the southern Indian Ocean, approximately 1,500 kilometres due west of Perth.
Well, Ocean Infinity has proposed a no-find, no-fee basis to scour the seabeds. And the Malaysian government says if there is evidence, then it will be keen to proceed with further investigation. All a really costly affair, but do we know how much it will cost the government?
Well, you've actually hit on it, Yvonne, hit on the major point here. First of all, to answer your question, it's about $70 million. But Ocean Infinity has been to see the Malaysian government twice in the last couple of years, and they have proposed new searches on a no-find, no-fee basis. Each time the Malaysian government has said there's no new evidence. And if Ocean Infinity are in fact presenting going over previous areas and searching a little bit wider, there is no new evidence to support that. But what there is the evidence from UK aerospace engineer Richard Godfrey with his whisper technology at a higher latitude, a couple of degrees higher than what is proposed to be searched. And that is concrete new evidence that's been peer reviewed. And it's a little bit perplexing that in the Ocean Infinity presentation on Sunday with the relatives, this particular location was not mentioned. And by the way, that particular location suggested by Mr. Richard Godfrey is in the same area suggested by the University of Western Australia's Dr. Chari Patarachi, recognised as the leading oceanographer for the Indian Ocean. And he was the one where he predicted where all the debris was going to surface in Africa. So it's rather perplexing, and I hope that the Malaysian government's offer to do another search is not just a cynical thing to say to pacify relatives on the anniversary, on the 10th anniversary, as they have done before. They keep saying we want new evidence. Well, there is new evidence, and they've got no excuse not to go ahead and search again.
Well, relatives will be waiting to hear. It's been 10 years of a roller coaster of emotions for those families of those missing in the flight, mostly Chinese, Malaysians, also some Australians. How will they be responding to renewed efforts to find out what happened to their loved ones?
Look, they'll be very encouraged by the Minister Loke's comments yesterday. They will absolutely be encouraged. And the poor relatives have been on a most ghastly rollercoaster ride because over the last 10 years, there's been 120 books written about the disappearance of MH370. 120 books. And each time a new theory comes out, and some of them are utterly bizarre, these poor people are taken on this terrible journey of, is there hope? Do I have closure? Only to find the particular theory, the particular book ripped to pieces by the scientific community saying, well, that's impossible for that to happen. It's been a terrible journey for them, a really awful journey. I've met a lot of them, and it's really a very, very emotional event to talk to them and hear the pain of this 10 terrible years.
Can just imagine. Meanwhile, have there been any lessons learned from the incident in terms of aviation safety?
Well, look, yes, there's been a focus on pilot mental health, and that was since MH370 was lost. We've also had the terrible Germanwings disaster where the co-pilot committed suicide and murder, flying the aircraft into the French Alps. And there's also been lessons learned about tracking aircraft, and there's been various things that have been done in that space as well. Have we solved the problem completely? No, we have not. There are still question marks. There are still areas to be covered, and hopefully sooner than later, particularly relating to pilot mental health.
Geoffrey Thomas, really good to get your thoughts on this. Thanks so much for joining The World.
Pleasure.